Hey guys, today we are going to talk about creating additional income. Everybody wants to have some kind of additional income. I know, like in US, right? I think the people who are making above 80,000, there is a stat above 80,000. They all have some kind of a side hustles. They do, and people who are making less than $40,000, they don't have any side hustles. They have like a very few side hustles compared to the one that are making about 80,000. That tells you guys, that amount they're getting, extra money that they're probably getting, because the 80,000 is they're getting the total amount, is most likely some of them coming from a side hustles, right? Some of the additional income, because the average income, household income, is 58,000 or something like that, in US, right? So I'm talking about household income, both husband, wife, or the both people work. The whole household average across the U.S. is 50 less than $60,000, guys. Think about it, and that is. But most of the people who are making less money, they do very few side hustles compared to who are making more money. They do more side hustles. That's why they're making more money. The additional income definitely is going to help you, and but most of the people, they work too much, too hard. Even the people who are making less money, they put too much of physical labor on it, right? Basically like a cashier, standing there for 10 hours, maybe two shift sometime, right? And they make less money. But people who are making more money, about 80,000, about 100,000, they do very less physical work, mostly mental work. And but they don't do too much of a work, right? They do less work, but they make more money.
And also, Venkat, just before you really go into the meat of the
Yeah,
episode, I
yeah.
just wanted to add, in addition to that, there are certain people who are absolutely okay with what they get. What they don't, there's nothing wrong with that. I was like that too. I mean, I'm pretty sure 20 to 20, probably 20 years ago, you were also like that. Thinking
Right.
not too far ahead. That is absolutely right. But we don't want anyone to regret after they hit 45 or 50. What you do is like, yeah, now I'm satisfied. But what when I hit 50s, 55s, no, you don't want to go look back and regret, oh my God, had I invested on this, had I did do this, all that, negativity or the suffering, we don't want anyone to go through that suffering or, looking back with the negativity. So that's the other reason, people are like, we are fine, we're satisfied. But what they don't realize it, they've been working 8 to 5 for so long, and they don't realize that until they hit 55, 65, even 70. So just
Yeah,
to
that's a great point. Yeah, I didn't even realize that
right.
sometime,
No,
right?
because we know certain people personally. I mean, including ourselves few years ago, right?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. That's right. Yeah, actually, I always regret sometime,
yeah,
but I'm a futuristic person. I always look for the future,
yeah,
look in the future. I always regret, like, I haven't done that. I should have done that,
yeah,
5 years ago, 10 years ago. I would have been already past that, this phase I was going through, right? But it's past is always fast, and you
yeah.
need to look in the future, right? But it's still possible. It's like there is an easy way to do it. There's a harder way to do it, right? The one thing that I would say is, what you're doing between 6 p.m. to midnight. What you're doing, that's going to decide your lifestyle of future lifestyle.
Correct.
So if you are binge watching Netflix, Hulu, or Disney Plus every day, that basically you are not training your mind. You're not training your physique, or whatever thought process that is. Everybody has that. Everybody has that inside of you.
Yeah,
But thing is, like, some people put everything focus on it, like a lens, right? You probably use the lens from the sunlight. You burn the paper when you are a kid, and that's just like it's focusing all the sunlight to. You cannot burn a paper just showing this, paper under the sunlight. You have to focus the light on to it, right? And then it burns the paper. Just like that, you have to focus. Those people who are doing it successfully, they are focusing on that between the 6 to 12, 6 p.m. to midnight,
fine.
until they go to bed, right? They focus on that. You don't need to even spend a lot of time, maybe an hour every day, 2 hours a day, focus on learning some type of skill. That is all the side hustle needs, right? Maybe become a YouTuber, or do a review of products that you have in your home, right? I have Brother printer, I have Dell printer, right? I have some other camera, right? Just show it, like take a show it what it does, and basically explain about how you like it, what kind of things that you do with that. Just review the product online, right?
Right. And also, Venkat, you mentioned about Netflix, Hulu, and stuff, right? And a couple of things I want to share with that is, even on Netflix, even on Hulu, there are certain programs that you can actually inspire yourself. I mean, I can give an example. If you're into music, there are so many. There was an episode on this band, world renowned band Journey. How this guy on the streets in Philippines became the lead singer of the band Journey. His story, it's so inspiring. And I'm not saying that you after watching it you go and join a band or something. It's not that. If you understand me, it's about you inspire yourself to become the best version of yourself, right? It doesn't
Right,
have the
right.
exact same life, but there are certain things that actually inspire you. Every time you watch that, you inspire and do something that you just said.
Focus.
Explain on
Yeah.
something on YouTube and just get that inspiration from. And also, and the other point I want to say is, it's plus one. I always use that plus one that I learned from Master Harris, right? You don't have to cut down on your Netflix time like wholesale 100%. No, first day, okay, Monday you stop watching Netflix for half an hour, and the next day maybe additional 1 minute, and then in the end of the day you'll realize that you actually cut down a lot of your unnecessary time on Netflix, but you focus on something that actually helpful for you to become the best version of yourself and become financially stable at the end of the day or end of the journey. Just my
Yeah,
two.
yeah, that's a great point. I can add you one to that, right?
Yeah.
I wrote 11 articles, guys, for medium.com. Medium.com, I wrote 11 articles. Those are like a 10 minutes read each article.
Right.
While watching Netflix. While watching Netflix, I was writing these things.
I've seen that. Like, you're on Netflix, but you're doing
yeah,
something else. I'm like, what the heck is going
yeah. So I can easily do that. So
Yeah.
I train my mind like that. Like I basically watch doing both things. I'm not watching every step of the way
Yeah.
in the movies. I'm actually having that iPad Pro, or if you have a laptop, just you could try it. But if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But you can do if you don't want to give up. Like I only do maybe twice a week or 3 times a week. I watch, but during the time I'm doing something else too, right? That's another way. Like I probably, like if you want to get a side hustle, if you want to create additional so if you want to, let's go from the top, right? If you want to create additional income, you need to have some kind of a side hustles, right? You cannot go and open a business you don't know anything about. So side hustles are like a baby step. So you kind of go baby step. Actually, it's a little bit above baby step. The one that hobbies, your hobbies are like baby step, right? So whatever the hobby that you have, if you don't have anything, create something. Like maybe you might like photography, you might like talking to people as a YouTuber, as a podcaster, right? Or writing some articles for medium.com, or reading on Reddit, Quora, or Medium, reading about different things, and maybe shortlisting things, right? So there are so many things you can do. Just look for hobbies that you can pick up, and then develop that, right? And then the hobbies will become side hustles.
That's
And
right.
side hustles are the baby, like
Yeah.
the hobbies are baby steps. Side hustles, you kind of grow up and start walking, but you're not an adult in that case. And then once the side hustles, whichever you like, right? Whichever you like, and whichever is giving you more profit in less time, whichever is more scalable, whichever doesn't need your presence, like physical presence, whichever makes it more passive, pick those things, right? You need to evaluate all these different side hustles that you are going through, and then that'll become your income stream, guys. That is additional income, basically.
Yeah, and I've known some of my friends, some of the people I know that they started off playing the guitar just for fun, like you said, as a hobby, and eventually they became the teachers, and which is a great side income. because nowadays, actually, I know because I wanted to take some different guitar lessons, and it's like $30 per hour. Can you imagine?
Oh.
Not even an hour, like half an hour.
Hmm.
So half an hour, you earn $30, and probably even more than your regular job. You know, most of the people, they don't get paid $30 an hour, and
And
this
they
is
can practice their guitar during that. Probably they're teaching, right? While they're teaching, they can
yeah, yeah,
practice.
that's right. So some people, they only they like you said, they learn as they teach, and $30 for half an hour, $30, and that means $60 an hour. Imagine that. And but of course, they're good people. The people I know, that they teach because they know it, and it's a side hustle for them. Like you said, after 6 o'clock,
So
6 to 12 is the time to spend or work on your side hustles. And great, they're teaching after 6 o'clock. So just some true stories, guys. These are true stories that you can actually implement to your life, because hobbies turning into a side income, that's the best feeling. I'm pretty sure, because I'm actually in the process of getting that thing down under my belt, so I can be that next person.
yeah, exactly. Like you always need to think about like what kind of hobbies that the hobbies that you have
Yeah.
can become a side hustle.
I
Like
like photography, right? For you,
yeah,
like
yeah,
photography.
yeah. I that's what how I started. I made around several $1,000s in photography just from that hobby, right? But it's not going to be very. I'm not focused on it, right? But it's okay. If I lose everything, I can focus on it. I can develop it.
There you go.
At least I have that under my belt right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
So just like that, if you don't do it, guys, now you will be working 40 years. So I want to bring Warren Buffett quote here. I think he said something like, if you don't make money while you're sleeping, you will be working until you die.
Yeah.
So basically, you need to know how to make money while you're sleeping. That is through the additional side income. That's going to create passive income in the future, and
Yeah.
you could even retire early, maybe 10, 20 years early, from your full-time jobs, guys.
Yeah, very true. Well, great words of wisdom, thoughts of wisdom. Thank you so much, Venkat. And if you're still with us, thank you so much for sticking with us for this long. And I think this is going to be our probably, we wish you all very happy Merry Christmas and very Happy New Year, because we are doing this episode around that time. And hopefully, we'll see you next year. Not hopefully, we will see you next year, and stick with us. And until then, it's very, very happy times, happy holidays from us.
Thank you, guys.